Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where we review anything and everything. And this is another Lego City set, a 5+ set, set 60452, the donut truck. Now, one thing that kind of drew me to this as a set was, and it's funny because a lot of these newer sets are 5+, which is kind of great because it gives the option for kids to build them, but also I feel like it allows them to bring the price a little bit further down. Though some juvenile set, not juvenile, I'm sorry, 4+ sets, they call them, I forget the term they use for them, junior sets, I think it is, but I forget right now. But they sometimes seem to be very more expensive. But the ones that are not 4+, but can break the 4+ age barrier, but are still for the young people, I think tend to be a better price. And so with this right here, you're getting 196 pieces, which is a good amount of pieces crammed into this. This set retails for $20. I'm gonna have the link in the description down below for Amazon. And one thing that made me also a fan about getting this was that this whole piece comes off. Let's see if they show it here. Yeah, as a little like trailer or like little stand, donut stand on its own. Now, and then obviously it's kind of like the vibe of those kind of, food trucks where they'll pick up on, obviously they're not going to do the whole dynamic, and I'm glad they didn't do that, because then it would cost more of having to, have this where it leans upwards and allows you to put it on like that. You just clamp it on. But obviously a little bit of imagination, you'll just assume that it's one of those kind of tow hitch trucks where it puts this on it and then drops it off at the place. They have their day and then he puts it back on and they drive back to wherever he would store everything. So when you view it like that, almost like a cart type of the ones that are attached by what's the word I'm looking for, the tow hitch. Instead, it's cheaper to not do it in that form, but yet it's almost like you're getting that same feel. So I kind of like that. With that being said, obviously you got to use your imagination on how he gets that on top. You can imagine to yourself as if there was wheels underneath it and he gets pushed up there or craned up there by a device already built onto it. A little bit of imagination, but nonetheless, I think that is pretty cool. Also, anyone who's a fan who views the channel knows that I'm a big fan when it comes to Lego of cafe type of setups. And essentially that's what this is. Even though the focus is donuts, it essentially has a coffee maker in the inside. So it's like you got coffee cups and you got donuts. So essentially it's almost like a mini cafe stand. And it's probably the most portable full cafe stand you're going to get with an interior, small interior though, for this price range. So it's awesome. And also too, previously on the channel, I've reviewed a set called Bean There, Donut That, which was an older set that I was able to pick up at the time. And that kind of was a similar feel, but not attached to a truck. This is probably the most modern version you're going to get to if you want like a coffee stand. Yes, the theme is more donuts, but nonetheless, any kind of coffee theme thing always had donuts as well. So it doesn't matter what the primary theme is, you still get a little bit of both. So if you wanted a set that caters to you having a coffee stand, this is that. But being that donuts is the focus, it makes me almost feel like this is like the equivalent of like Dunkin' Donuts. So let's rip into this. I rambled on too much already, and let's get into this here. And like I said, this is one of the sets that I'm actually pretty excited for, mainly because I like cafes and I like that you could attach it. Because of this set, I never before thought about getting the burger set, but it made me almost want to go back and get the burger set before that ends up becoming, out of production. Because the burger set, there are a couple of different type of food trucks out there, but not all of them allow you to detach. And to me, that's one of the best parts. But with that being said, only a few of them allow the detached, in this one and the burger truck. And so I was contemplating getting the burger truck. I'm not sure yet, but I think I might end up leaning into it. But then what you could do, for anyone who may not realize this idea, is take all of these trucks that have the cart that could be detached and make a little, maybe like in your city setup, a little kind of, maybe like a little food alley where it's like, maybe a little walk path, and on each side is a little food cart, maybe even on a grassy area where all the food carts park, and they just bring their carts off in there, like a whole line, so you can walk through the middle of them almost like at a carnival or something like that. So that was an idea also. This has a total of, let's see, it's just 2 bags. So it should be a pretty simple build in terms of the numbering. It's just 2 bags. What's interesting is we've got 2 separate, my thing's a little bit bent up in here. We got 2 separate instruction booklets. So that's great, especially with the 5+ moniker, because if you want to build it with, you know, a kid, you can, and have them build one and you build the other one. I love the way that little stand looks, and it looks so complete. It's not huge, it's not big, but it looks so complete that, like I said, you could just put it down and it becomes its own little, just, you know, you could put this on the corner of, say, even something like a modular build, and that would be the little corner stand at the corner of the block. So like things like that are just very diverse, and for only $20 you really can't beat it. And like I said, I could really see someone, as they start to build more sets like that, just really kind of buying all of them and just setting up those in little places, leaving the truck aside somewhere, with the idea that when the food stand owner is ready to, you know, pick up his stand, he'll come just drive in and do that. So we're gonna rip open the bags, put everything together, and we'll be back for the review. All right, you guys, we are back with the finished build of the donut truck, and I can honestly say, as I was putting this set together, not because of the process of putting it together, but just even from the moment that I've seen it released, I normally wasn't like a big, I'm not gonna say not a big fan of like the trailer trucks or this and that or some of these little things, but you know, I wasn't really interested in the slushy truck. Nothing wrong with any of these things, but the ice cream truck they had before, this is like, I think last year or maybe 2023, and you know, a few other truck designs like that I wasn't as into, but this, at first I just thought I saw it and I was like, you know what, another trailer truck. I think they're cool, may not really be my thing. Then what kind of keyed me off was that I realized on the inside, it's not really just a donut truck. It's really like a cafe box, because all cafe sets have donuts in them. Well, the donut cart or donut truck has coffee in them. And I'm just, as anyone who knows watching the channel, when it comes to the Lego stuff, I'm just a fan of like little cafe setups and things of that sort. And so once I realized that, I was a little bit more interested. As I started building it more and more, just becoming more and more interested. Why? Because I actually did a recent review of the Lego Friends Cafe, and I had noted that in terms of Lego in general, that is the only current type of coffee shop, cafe, coffee stand, anything of that sort. It's the only current iteration as far as in Lego, and that is within the Lego Friends set. As far as the actual Lego City sets or anything that goes hand in hand with these minifigures, not the mini dolls from the Friends set, there is no coffee set. Now, those who've seen the channel before know that I reviewed the Bean There Donut That, which was a no longer produced set, which was an exclusive, and I happened to be able to get it. I believe it was on Amazon. And I think I paid a little bit more than what the original price was for it, or maybe I paid around the same price for it, because I think I paid about $35 maybe, because I was interested in such a thing. As I was finishing this build, I realized, one, this is the only within Lego City or, you know, regular Lego set, this is the only way to get you know, a kind of cafe or coffee stand, even though it's a donut truck, but it counts as the same thing. Secondly, the price is just $20. So for $20, some people might think that it's a fair deal or a basic deal. I guess because there's so few options for coffee shops, I feel like it's a pretty good deal. Now, granted, the Lego Friends Cafe, if you're looking strictly for a cafe or a shop, that's $30. It's a better deal. But in terms of you wanting minifigures that go with regular Lego, and you want regular Lego, not Friends set, you don't want mini dolls, you want whatever, there's no other coffee option. And so that's one of the reasons why I really love this set. It's the most modern little coffee stand you can get. And the way they set it up, where it's separate from the trailer, can be the trailer and the truck can be separated. This can go on top. I'm not going to press it down hard, but it can go on top, or it could be separated. You don't need to have the donut on it if you don't want to, too, even though it gives it some charm. But what I was going to get at is that the way this design of this set is, with the whole separation of the trailer truck, if you didn't want a donut truck, but you just want a little, coffee stand, donut coffee stand, and you don't want it to be on the truck, you literally can replace these side pieces here with just regular like white panels. I know that the coffee or the donut aspect goes hand in hand with this part, so it kind of matches up. You don't realize it, but the white matches with that and the brown matches with that. But if you took this off and it was just a white panel or a solid color panel, maybe brown or is white, you wouldn't realize that it's trying to make that kind of connection of frosting over dough, and it would just look like a solid panel. And this could literally just be a trailer truck that you put other things on it when you want to attach them to it, and that could be its own separate thing. I keep knocking these figures over. Let me move them to the side. And that could be its own separate thing, not related in any way to your coffee stand. And your coffee stand could just be a spot where, say if you've got a city set up and maybe like, on the side of a park or whatever, you just put this there and leave that there, and that's just part of your thing. And I think that is pretty awesome. So taking a look at the truck first, rolls nice, flatbed, has a little stand because when the the donut shop is, and if I end up calling it a coffee shop, don't mind, when it's on here, this gives it a little step to walk in. You've got your typical inside here where it's just the steering wheel, nothing, no kind of extra stuff inside it. But this is a 5+ set, so keep that in mind too. But I think for a 5+ set is pretty nice. You got both figures here, the donut guy, and you have the officer. She's got extra printing on the back, and he doesn't, obviously because of the type of hat he has. Now, as far as the extras go, you don't get a lot, but I think that they're fairly usable pieces, and I like that. If you could have at least like 1 to 2 pieces or so that you could use, I think it's sometimes pretty cool. This is always a great piece to have, a little kind of be a little kiosk register thing. For you to, if you have a little stand like this, you can use it in another kind of store setup. Can never go wrong with having extra donuts. I don't mind that. In these kind of sets, a pink thing like this works because you could use that as a pastry as well. When it's next to other donuts, you just imagine it to be another donut, so that's not bad at all. And then this right here, obviously we all seen this before. This can be used as, if you put it on the top of something, it could be used as a spout for a coffee machine. So you can make your own coffee machine, and this would be the spout. So I think that's a very valuable piece as well there. This one also has a purpose too, depending on the other things you have. If you've got a cylinder piece, you could put this on top and it's a drink. If you have like a one of those kind of bricks with a stud faces forward, like sideways, you could put this on it, and then now it's another kind of nozzle to drip down from. Maybe it's the cream dispenser or something like that. So you got a couple options with that. So like I said, I like when extras have some sort of purpose. I'm going to put those to the side. And now getting into the shop here. So the first thing, just taking a look at the outside, everything's prints because it's 5+, so that's awesome. So you get this telling you the price of the donuts, 4 and 5. There is no chocolate donut, but if you had just simply like a chocolate circle, a brown circle like that, that could just be the donut. So if you have one of those, just kind of throw it in the mix, and it could be your chocolate covered donut, and that's fine. So that's one thing I love about like those solid pieces like that. You have the doorway here. I'll open that up in a second when I take the roof off. And then here you have the glass panel. But what's cool is you don't want to have this glass panel in it on the back. You don't have to have that. You can literally have it taken out, and then you have both sides open, where if you want to put this in the middle of your city or the middle of a park and you want both sides open, you can do that. What's also nice about that too, if you do that, I don't know if this is planned or not, by giving you this extra piece, you could put the pavement piece on both sides. So that's actually pretty cool too. The only thing you'll be lacking is this little awning that's on this side wouldn't now be on that side. But other than that, you know, that would be the only thing. And you could actually, if you wanted to, maybe, I don't know how hard it would do, how hard it would be to do this, but you could probably get rid of that if you wanted to. And then that way it's even on both sides. But theoretically, it's not a problem that you have the opening on that side, but this is intended to be the natural front. I don't think it still doesn't look bad from that side either. So you have the donut, the brick built donut, like it says, all printing. So that's nice. And we're gonna take the top off, which comes off easy, only attached by these studs here. Now, you could see, I'm not gonna be able to, hopefully you guys can see it pretty well because I'm not gonna take these whole side brackets off. But now, I don't know if this is because it's a 5+ set, but I don't think that really matters. The coffee machine buildup seems a little lacking. Like, I think it could have been better. We've all seen better ones and other things, and I don't think that it would have been much for them to make it a little better, because most coffee machines are not, you know, they aren't that outrageous in terms of the way that they're built up. So I think that it could have been a little bit better. But nonetheless, it's not. It does have that look like it's integrated into this whole core, kind of like there's a machine thing back there with those two types of bricks. I'm sorry for the focusing. Let me try to get some of the things out of the way in the background if that will help. Apologize for that. So that right there. Let me see if I can. I'm just going to take this whole piece off right here, and hopefully that might help a little bit. So I feel like I just can't get up in there that well with the view. There we go. So yeah, like I said, the way these those pieces are that integrate the coffee machine into the wall, it kind of makes it feel like this is like this kind of really built up big machine, if you want to view it that way. And then that's why, like, you know, it's like that. It doesn't look sophisticated, but it's built into where it's got a cooling system and this other stuff. You could say it to yourself. I like something that's a little more detailed for a coffee machine, but nonetheless, it's not bad. Obviously, it's using those pieces that I said we got doubles of. You got the little donut stand things here where you have the donuts on top of, you know, the coffee mug on that side in the back, and this one right here, you got the little cash register, kind of swipe your card little machine thing, not cash register, but, you know, little swipe your credit card reader, $100 bill, which the officer would be holding, and they give it to why am I having that brain fart? The donut guy, we'll just say, for lack of a better word. I don't know to call him a barista because he does serve coffee, but this gives me more of a Dunkin' Donuts vibe. Maybe it's because of the colors and everything like that, as opposed to something more like, you know, higher end. And then here is the doorway to go in. Nothing too sophisticated, a very small, tight door, but nonetheless, it is. Can I focus in the background? Not really. But, you know, it fits. A person can go through it. So it's just really the intention to kind of illustrate that that is an option. But otherwise, you'd be putting the guy in straight from above. Like I said, it's not that big. It's not over the top. But I like it just for the purpose of $20. And you get yourself, like I said, either you want to have them separate, you have a truck that could be wherever else in your city. It doesn't have to be attached to this at all. And this could just be your little stand, maybe in a park, or maybe in between two modular buildings, or two, just maybe you don't have modular buildings. Maybe you got city, Lego City buildings and houses, and you got it in between two type of commercial buildings. And this is just the little stand right here where you could buy, you know, your coffee. Or if you're familiar with the set that is it's not a trolley cart. I forget what it's called, but it's not a motorized train. It's red. And that set comes with almost like a train stand on each side. It's like a train stand on one side, and on the other side, you can combine them to be all on one side, but it'd be on one side and one side here, and the train will go through. It's like a red one. You could put this on there as a little coffee shop. I think it has its own little thing similar to that, but nonetheless, you could put this on by you could put it anywhere. You could put it on by a train, by a bus stop, put it in a park. You could do so many things with this and just put it there into your little coffee stand. So I really like that for this set. I just think in that regards, it's just, you don't have a lot of options like this. Now, of the time of recording this video, I did check Amazon, and the Bean Dare donut little stand is $25 with about $5 shipping. I know the price fluctuates. I know that's not really in production because it was a Target exclusive, and I guess like whatever is available of it on Amazon gets sold. If you could pick that up, I definitely would say that that is a better, just for a coffee like little stand thing, that's a better value. It's going for cheaper than what I originally thought it was. But if you specifically, as far as a modern set and the truck, and especially if you want the building experience for your kids, because this is a +5 set and the instructions are made easier for kids, and I'll explain to you what I mean by that. Every time you have a set of pieces on the left, they show it to you with open hands, so you know, grab these pieces, and then on the right side is what you put together. So you really only have per page one set of building instructions per page, which is on the right, and the left is just to get your pieces. So, you know, if you want to build this with your children, you could do that. So once again, like I said, I think this is a great set. Really like it a lot. I think that, to me, the value of the $20 by itself, I think feels like a good value, only because I like coffee sets. When I compare it to the fact that the Bean Dare donut stand is still available, I think that's with the shipping, you're paying $30, $10 more. So nah, I can't even say. It comes with a few more minifigures, maybe about like a total of like 4 or 5 minifigures. But this is $20, so it's like $10 cheaper. Yeah, I think this is a great value. And like that difference in money, not to make this a comparison video, but if you wanted to, and most of us have, you know, extra pieces laying around, I do think if you really were like a big fan of coffee sets and you don't have any other sets, you could beef this up a little bit more in terms of like just the interior stuff that you want to put in it. Like I said, for example, you could, matter of fact, I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to just do a little kind of edit, and you're going to see what I mean. Okay, so we're back really quickly, and this was just a quick little mod thing I did on here. I took out the glass. I put this piece right back. I took a just this brown 2x6 piece here just to extend the counter a little bit, so that way I have more working room. So you have that one's the regular counter. I took the extra piece there. Now I had a couple of these from my old cafe build that I made, my personal one that I made, but this is obviously, everyone's got cylinder pieces. If you got some brown ones, cool. If you got any other color, you still form them as a drink. You can take a clear top, or if you happen to have those soda can tops, you could do that. Put them on water or whatever the case is. Whatever the tops are, it's not gonna make a difference. Put a black tops on it, it's not gonna make a difference. What matters, the barrel is gonna give a more indication of what it is. These are like little brown mocha coffee type of whatever drinks. You got the water over there, and now you just expanded the whole setup here. Now he's doing double the work because he's got a kiosk on this side, he's got one on that side, he's got the extra drinks. Or if you happen to have available, and if you don't have this, if you ever happen to make an order from lego.com, you could throw this into the mix. But if you got one of these as a, and of course they're going sideways now instead of dropping the way I want them to, upside down in every which way. But now you got a little mini fridge box. Throw that on the side. I don't have it on there that well, but you get the point. And you know, people come by, they open it up, got the coffee in there, frozen coffee. If I had a glass opening of that door, that would be even better. But so you get the idea. You know, you could dress it up however you want, whatever the case is. This does make it a little cramped because you can't see through it, so I kind of prefer it without it, but you guys get the idea. So yes, the options you could do with this for just being, like I said, a $19. And like I said, I'm sure anyone who has Lego at all, just on your extra pieces alone, you could dress things up. You wouldn't even need to put this counter. You could just use the one that's on it if you don't want to take up too much space. And in that case, you could take say, I'll take 2 of the brown coffee drinks, take the little kiosk, put it on the side, and there you go. You know, so you get the idea. Yeah. So I like this option for that. As always, you guys like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.